All right, chapter 23. Upon the night of the 13th of July, 1875, at midnight, two officers of HMS Coran in the Gulf of Siam saw a luminous projection from the moon's upper limb. Upon the 14th, it was gone, but a smaller projection was seen from another part of the moon's limb. This was in the period of the opposition of Mars. Upon the night of February 20th, 1877, M. Trovelot of the Observatory of Madone saw in the lunar crater's exodus, which, like almost other centers of seeming signaling, is in the northwestern quadrant of the moon, a fine line of light. It was like a luminous cable drawn across the crater. March 21st, 1877, a brilliant illumination and not by the light of the sun, according to C. Barrett in the lunar crater Proclus. May 15th and 29th, 1877, the bright spot west of Picard. The changes upon Lien were first seen in Schmidt in 1866, near the time of opposition of Mars. In May 1877, Dr. Klein announced that a new object had appeared upon the moon. It was close to the center of the visible disk of the moon and was in a region that had been most carefully studied by the stenographers. In the observatory 2-238 in Neeson's report from his own memoranda. In the years 1874 and 1875, he had studied this part of the moon but had not seen this newly reported object in the crater Hyginus, or the object Hyginus N, according to the stenographer's terminology. In the astronomical register 17-204, Neeson lists with details 20-minute examinations of this region from July 1870 to August 1875, in which the conspicuous object was not recorded. June 14, 1877, a light on the dark part of the moon resembling reflection from a moving mirror reported by Professor Henry Harrison. June 15th, the bright spot west of Picard, according to Burt. Upon the 16th, Professor Harrison thought that again he saw the moving light of the 14th, but shining faintly. In the English Mechanic 25-432, Frank Dennett writes, as to an observation of June 17, 1877, I fancied I could detect a minute point of light shining out of the darkness that filled Bessel. These are data of extraordinary activity upon the moon preceding the climacteric opposition of Mars early in September 1877. Now we have an account of an occurrence during an eclipse of the moon. On the night of the eclipse, August 27, 1877, a ball of fire of the apparent size of the moon was seen at 10 minutes to 11, dropping apparently from cloud to cloud and the light flashing across the road. Astro Reg 17-251, November 13, 1877, Hyginus N standing out with such prominence as to be seen at the first glance. November 14, 1877, not a trace of Hyginus N, though seeing was excellent. October 3rd, 1878, the most conspicuous of all appearances of Hyginus N. October 4th, 1878, not a trace of Hyginus N. Upon the night of November 1st, 1879, again in the period of opposition of Mars, again the bright spot west of Picard, but I have several records of observations upon this appearance, not in times of opposition of Mars. Whether there be any relation with anything else or not, at 5 o'clock, morning of November 1st, 1879, a vivid flash was seen and a shock was felt at West Cumberland. In the autumn of the year 1883 began extraordinary atmospheric effects in the sky of this earth. For Professor John Haywood's description of similar appearances upon the moon, November 4th, 1883 and March 29th, 1884, see the Sidereal Messenger 3-121. They were misty light effects upon the dark part of the moon, not like earthshine. Our expression is that so close is the moon to this earth that it, too, may be affected by phenomena in the atmosphere of this earth. Something like another luminous cable, or like a shining wall that was seen in Aristarchus by Trovelot, January 23rd, 1880. A speck of light in Marius, January 13th, 1881, by A.S. Williams. Unexplained light in Exodus by Trovelot, May 4th, 1881. An illumination in Kepler by Morales, February 5th, 1884. In Knowledge 7-224, William Gray writes that upon February 19th, 1885, he saw in Hercules a dull, deep, reddish appearance. In L'Astronomie, 1885-227, Lorenzo Crop, an astronomer of Paysandú, Uruguay, writes that upon February 21st, 1885, he had seen in Cassini a formation not far from Hercules, both of them in the northwestern quadrant of the moon. A reddish smoke or mist. He had heard that several other persons had seen not a misty appearance, but a star-like light there, and upon the 22nd he had seen a definite light himself, shining like planet Saturn. May 11th, 1885, 2 lights upon the moon. May 11th, 1886, 2 lights upon the moon. That's it.